Afternoon, everybody, and you're very welcome to UCD Institute of Food and Health Research Bites, today the 15th of May, and it is my great privilege to introduce Dr. Joshua Arimi, and he is going to speak to us about his research in the area of camel milk. So Professor Arimi is visiting us as an associate professor at present. He's currently based in Meru University of Science and Technology in Kenya. He graduated from UCD. In fact, he graduated twice, with his PhD in 2009 and with a master's degree in 2005. And indeed, he's a highly qualified individual because he joined UCD having already had a master's in post-harvest and food preservation from KU Leuven in Belgium, and his primary degree he obtained in Kenya. So as I say, his research is in relation to the potential of camels, and particularly looking at camel milk, but also some aspect of it, I understand, looking at camel meat also. So we're delighted to have Joshua joining us today. So over to you, Joshua, for your presentation, and thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Professor Doroles. This afternoon, good afternoon, everyone. I'll be presenting on white gold. That is camel milk, mining camel milk for peace and wealth in semi-arid regions of northern Kenya. Why are we referring to camel milk as white gold? It's for very basic reasons, both scientifically proven and for economic purposes. And due to climate change, camels are very resilient and they can withstand up to 14 days without water. Camel milk also lacks beta-lactoglobulin, so it's hypoallergenic. So for kids who are allergic to cow's milk, they can take camel milk comfortably. In terms of vitamin C, it's 5 times to bovine milk, which is very good now for people living in arid and semi-arid regions because they don't have access to vegetables, which provide vitamin C. And during drought, it can provide up to 50% of calories to the people living in those arid areas. It's rich also in bioactives. It has nutrition and the therapeutic benefits, particularly it has anti-diabetic properties. It's also very good for the skin. In terms of farm gate prices, it can fetch up to 5 times of bovine milk. So the situation of how is the camel milk, particularly in Kenya and in the world, we published an article on camel milk and camel milk product situation in Kenya in relation to the world. So if you need to get more information on that, you can check that paper. Is open access, and I'll base most of my work on it. And in terms of camel population, the world is around that 7 million, whereas Africa hosts the highest amount of those camels, that's 2 million. Kenya hosting around 4.7 million camels. So most of the highest population of camels is in Africa, particularly North Horn of Africa. In terms of camel milk production, again, it's mainly in the Horn of Africa where we have the highest milk production. So in terms of Kenya, it's the highest producer of camel milk in the world, producing around 1.165 million tons, followed by Somalia with 0.96 and Mali. The common camel that is kept in these regions is what we call dromedary camel, which has only one hump, not the Bactrian one. And it's mainly kept in arid and semi-arid areas of northern eastern Kenya. And these arsal regions contribute up to 80% of Kenya's landmass. So it's making a potential for keeping camels. And these camels are used mainly for meat, milk, recreation, and transport purposes. And there are various what we call social challenges or the problems we wish to solve through our research. One is that during drought, the camel hunters, they drive their camels into farms looking for feed due to drought. And this brings conflicts, particularly with the farmers. And there are various instances where there has been conflict, either killing of camels or loss of human life. And also due to the nature of pastoralism, of keeping of camels, the education of young children is affected, and also young adults, because they dedicate their time to rearing the camels, so they lose time to attend to school. In terms of technological challenges, there are quite a number due to the nature of camel milk proteins, particularly the caseins. The camel milk, you experience poor coagulation. And in that, if you're making products like yogurt, you end up with, if you use the same technology with bovine milk, you end up with low yogurt viscosity. Also, if you're making cheese, you end up with a weak cheese curd, mainly due to low kappa caseins in camel milk. In terms of addressing the social challenges, at Meru University of Science and Technology, we have developed camel fins derived from local materials, particularly those obtained in the deserts and in those arid areas. We have formulated the fin is the first one, and we have tested it. Also, we have reared camels by supplementing with that fin to evaluate the milk production, milk quality, milk quantity, and other properties of the milk. That's the formulated feed. The main ingredient that we obtain from the local areas is the acacia pods. The other ingredients are common to the other feeds. The impact of the feed supplementation, we have observed that the mean milk percentage protein and fat, as would be expected, was higher for those camels that are supplemented, and also the yield of the milk in terms of quantity. For feed supplemented camels, we observed that they can be mated higher compared to those which are not supplemented in terms of the feed. And also supplementing feeds can mitigate the camel hunters against farmers' conflicts, so that solving one of the main problems of hunters and farmers' conflict. In terms of solving technological challenges of camel milk, we have published some work on production and characterization of camel milk yogurt containing different types of stabilizing agents. Also, you can access that paper is open access, and I'll base my results on that publication. So one of the products that we have optimized from camel milk is camel milk yogurt. And we obtained camel milk from farmers in Isiolo County. We brought it to Meru University of Science and Technology. And also we obtained bovine milk. So we prepare and we follow the standard procedure for making yogurt. We pasteurize the milk after adding other ingredients up to 85 degrees for 30 minutes. We cool down to 42 degrees. We inoculate with the cultures. We incubate for 6 hours. And after that, we keep it at refrigerated conditions following analysis. Then to improve the viscosity, we also trying to incorporate salts. That's a food grade calcium chloride. Following the procedure, we made yogurt with the stabilizers. We introduced the calcium chloride into the ingredients. And also we pasteurized milk again to 85 degrees for 30 minutes. We cooled to 42, inoculated, and allowed for 6 hours incubation period. Then stored in the refrigeration conditions at 4 degrees. In terms of effect of different stabilizing agents on the viscosity, we observed that by introducing the stabilizing agents, technically we improved the viscosity. The highest viscosity we could achieve was by using 3% cornstarch, that is CS. The highest peak, the highest curve here is camel milk containing 3% cornstarch. And we can see where we are getting the control of the bovine camel milk. It's at this level. So we could get up to a viscosity of 0.8 pascals, where bovine we are getting at 0.3. So it indicated that by introducing the stabilizers, although at very higher concentrations than we use in normal bovine milk, we can achieve similar viscosity that we can get with the bovine milk. Then when we introduce the salts, particularly calcium chloride, which is food grade, on the stabilizers, it further improved the viscosity of the yogurt. From this case, we can observe that we could achieve up to around 0.9 Pascal second in terms of viscosity by introducing calcium chloride with the green line, that is 3% of cornstarch plus calcium chloride. In the previous image, cornstarch alone without calcium chloride, we were getting up to a viscosity of 0.8. We can go up to 0.9 at this point. And so this results indicate that by introducing calcium chloride to the stabilizers, also we can improve the viscosity of camel milk yogurt. And also we can observe that the bovine yogurt with the cornstarch, it was almost with the lowest viscosity when we introduce calcium chloride as stabilizer. So we can actually achieve camel milk with very, very good viscosity. In having done that, we wanted to see what the panelists think of this yogurt. Normally, the camel milk yogurt, it has a salty taste. So despite all the achievement you can make, those who are not used to camel milk will always perceive some salty taste. Subjecting this yogurt to sensory panelists, the brew shows the bovine milk for all the parameters, including sweetness, mouthfeel, sourness, color, and overall acceptability. Bovine milk was perceived as the best. However, we could see also camel milk is the rating was preferable, almost in all cases above average, meaning that you can improve, once you improve the viscosity, the camel milk yogurt can also be acceptable by sensory panelists. We have other camel milk products that we are working on. At this point, I'll play a small video for you to see exactly the kind of research you have been carrying out.
I'm Ashley Mazuri, our sign language interpreter. All right, let's continue now. Camels are a special gift, especially for pastoralists living in arid and semi-arid areas. Their resilience to harsh conditions are the reason they're popular with pastoralists. Many use them for transport purposes. And as Alan Ochanda now reports, Mary University has begun a research on how to maximize their potential by using camels to produce products such as cheese, sausages, lip balms, and food supplements.
Inside the Animal Science Laboratory in Meru University of Science and Technology, Professor Joshua Arimi, the lead investigator in the camel research, is just in to prepare camel yogurt. First, some little sample milk is taken for tests to ascertain its suitability for yogurt production. The sample is mixed with some amount of alcohol, and should it clot, then it fails the test. If it passes the test, the milk is poured in this metallic container, ready for pasteurization.
Once we pasteurize the milk to 95 degrees, we cool it to 40 to 45 degrees. Then we inoculate with the yogurt cultures. Here we use probiotic cultures. And after that, we leave the milk for 6 hours to ferment.
The pasteurization process takes approximately 6 hours to attain high viscosity, flavor, and color.
When we talk about yogurt cultures, it's that bacteria that are specially formulated to make sure the yogurt ferments with the certain viscosity and taste. For example, if you ferment milk normally spontaneously, ukiweka kwa kibuyu to ferment, that's spontaneous fermentation. You cannot control flavor, you cannot control texture, you cannot control viscosity. But with cultures, you can control viscosity, you can control the flavor.
The pasteurized milk is then left to cool and then taken for packaging, labeling, and then storage in the refrigerator for 24 hours before being taken to the shelves. Such products like cheese and sausages displayed here, according to them, may just be a better alternative, especially to diabetes patients and autistic children. The research also focuses on improved feeds for the beasts of the jungle, given their habitat often experiences drought, and as such productivity should be enhanced.
If we can supply this formulated ration, this can reduce the crashes because the camels will be having the feed at least to maintain them for the time that there's drought and survive awaiting the rains and when feeds are plenty.
The university is the first institution to delve into camel research, and its administration says it will go a long way in broadening areas of study besides commercialization.
We don't just do research for the sake of it. We are actually have a motto which is called RIC motto. That is Research, Innovation, and Commercialization motto. That whatever research like Arimi and Florence are doing here on camels, it's not just the research, but once you've done research, you have to develop the product and see how you can commercialize them.
Alamochanda, K.
Interesting.
Thank you very much. So what's the way forward now from here? Meru University is positioning itself to be the center of excellence in camel research. What we see here is the green parts of the map shows the distribution of camels on the left, and the right shows where various universities in Kenya are located. So Meru University is strategically located in the region that keeps camels. So it's positioning itself to be the center of excellence in camel research, not only in Africa, but in the world. As such, we have set up a lab as well, and also a farm to keep camels. We have around 10 hectares donated by the university to set up a camel research center. The community benefits that we have benefited from this project, we have trained up to 25 career researchers on research funding and networking. Through the fundings we get on camel research, we have trained 43 camel farmers, and we have 5 PhD students and 3 MSc students and several undergraduate projects carried out on camel research at Meru University of Science and Technology. And at this point, I wish to acknowledge Meru University of Science and Technology as the main lead institution in this project, National Research Fund for funding, and various institutions we collaborate with, particularly UCD Dublin. Currently, there were some 3 students here, 2 of them working on camel milk powder, and various other organizations that we are working with. Thank you.